Welcome to another episode of Decentro Talkies. This is me, Raunak Dembla, part of the founding team of Decentro and leading business development here. And today I am in conversation with Arun Iyer. Arun is the co-founder and the chief product officer of Galgal. He has been an industry veteran, comes with a lot of experience in the technology, consulting, and the service industry, having worked with companies like Tech Mahindra, Cognizant. He's spent a lot of time working, building out products and solutions, and post which has taken the jump to become an entrepreneur and build out Galgal. Arun and I I've had the privilege rather of working with Arun and Harsh for the last 1.5, 2 years, wherein we've had this exciting journey of building out Galgal. And today it gives me immense pleasure to be able to talk to you and to listen to your story and to bring out your story rather, Arun, and for the world to get to know what you guys are doing. So first of all, thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you, Ron. Thanks for the introduction.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the first thing that I would like to get out of the way, Arun, before we really dive into the crux of the conversation is every time I talk about what you folks are building to anybody else in the market and I show them your card, the first question that comes to me is, wait, what is this name? How do you pronounce the name and what does it mean? Because this is something very unique and catchy. And we would love to allow you to explain to our users what does this mean.
Yeah, and that's a question we get asked a lot as well, and sort of it becomes interesting an opening conversation because it is core to the entire journey for us forming this idea and concept, right? So Harsh, who's the founder and CEO, and me, right? And you know us, we are like ages apart. He's 25, 26. I am on the other side of 50 now. But we had an interesting meeting when we met about a couple of years back. He was looking at an idea of some kind of a neo-banking which was picking up in India, and he wanted to build something there. And I was looking to also start a journey in this space, in the personal finance space, which has been my passion for a long time. And when we started brainstorming, we did a sort of exercise with a consulting firm to do a user survey. We talked to about 50, 60 users, especially the youth, because we were clear that we wanted something for not the really young people, the pre-teens or the millennials. We thought that there is a segment in between the generation which is transitioning from being youngsters to adults, right? So that 18 to 25 age group is somewhere. The finance becomes an area where they are not very well versed with. They need to be guided and told how to manage their money, right? So that's an area we wanted to target. And in the brainstorming that we did, we identified a lot of features. We said that people usually address the invest and right, the post factor. You have money and now how do you invest and manage it, right? But how do you build that corpus to even start investing, right? So that the earlier part, which is the ability to budget your finances, the ability to track your spends, to start building that savings habit, was not something that has been addressed very well, right? And that's where we came up with a set of features. And the tagline that we ended up after our initial session of like 4 to 6 weeks is that we want to help the youth squeeze the most out of their money, right? So squeeze the most out of their money. And that translated, we came up with a figure of a lemon, right? That you have a lemon and you are trying to squeeze the most out of it. And the lemon that you find in the northern parts of India, the big lemons, the Pahadi Nimbu, is actually called Galgal, right? So that's a name that just came, and we thought that, hey, that's a catchy name, and we just modified it. You can call it Galgal, Galgal, both are fine. We generally go with Galgal, but that's the background. Help people squeeze the most out of their money, and that's how the name has come, right? So that's part of our journey. It was very interesting to come up with something right from scratch, deciding what really these people wanted, and then of course we worked together over the last 1.5 years to bring it to fruition, right? So,
okay,
yeah,
that's a super interesting point, Arun. So obviously, when having worked with you, both you and Harsh make a fantastic team. Harsh is the young very ambitious, excited individual, raring to go and raring to make an impact. You've been there, you've built a lot of products in the past, you know how things work, you have the required experience to be able to build out a probably very impactful business. And it's been great to have seen this journey alongside you. So probably would love to take a minute to understand what exactly is the problem statement that you're looking at solving, and how are you going about doing this through Galgal, right? So how will the user benefit, or how will the user achieve what you wanted them to achieve through using your product?
Sure. And that's an interesting question. And see, as we said, when we said that we want people to help people to manage their money better, right? That was what we wanted to do. And to be able to do that, person has to have a holistic view of their money, right? Where is the money coming in? Where is it going? That's very essential to be able to manage it better. So our vision is that our app, right, Galgal, should be the single place where the user can see all their money movements and finances, right? And so that's the long-term vision. We want it to be the single point, right? And it's think of it as your personal accounting tool, right? Where you really know how your money is being moved by you, right? What do you get? How do you spend it? What do you owe, right? If at all you are getting into credit and those space. And to be able to do this, you have to link all your finances, right? And today, most users have their money sort of scattered around multiple accounts, right? So when we started, we said that, hey, obviously we want to test the waters. We had to build a minimum viable product and let people understand what we are trying to build. So while we kept the core philosophies of budgeting and automated saving, and we wanted it to be automated for users, right? I mean, we don't want people to remember things. They want the current generation just wants to set something else and let the technology take care of it, right? So we built some of these features, but obviously, while neobanking requires you to tie up with a bank and get everything, that ecosystem is still evolving, right? So we started a prepaid wallet for something that we felt was a quick feature that we could offer to the market, right? Because people could load their wallets and spend it and use our app to really see how their money is being moved, right? We built an analytics engine to help them automatically classify. We have a budgeting feature so that the moment money comes into your wallet, the app automatically splits it for you as to how the money should be spent, right? On your essential spending, and if you want to save, how much you want to save. And then we had this concept of guilt-free spend, right? So our whole philosophy was that when you're spending, you should be guilt-free when you're spending. It should not be an after thought that, hey, I shouldn't have spent on this. As long as you know exactly where your mandatory expenses are and you factor for it upfront, then you are guilt-free, right? Then you know that, okay, this much I can spend on my party, going out, whatever, buying things I love and doing things that I like, right? So that's what we have tried to build into the product right upfront. Now, to be able to achieve what we want, that is a gradual progression, right? So now you are aware that account aggregation framework is now pretty much operational, right? And by doing that, that's our long-term vision that allow users to integrate all their finances, connect all their bank accounts. The other important thing that we are working on with you guys is UPI, right? So now a prepaid card was a restrictive instrument when people, we got a lot of feedback that, hey, the card is good, your app is good, but I cannot use it because UPI is our primary mode of spending, right? So how do I get all that money? So now with RBI allowing UPI on PPI, that's going to be a huge benefit. The viability of wallets per se has increased because now wallet is as opposed to a credit card, right? It's a much safer instrument, right? And that's the behavior we want to inculcate, right? We don't want people to really get into the credit mindset, although it has its benefits for certain use cases. But by having a prepaid card, you can really manage your finances much better, right? As long as you can load it periodically and spend it and use it for UPI as well, that really makes it really a viable solution. So I think that's where we are heading towards, and these are some things that we think we'll be launching soon in a few months.
Fantastic. So just to summarize that point and put together my understanding, you're helping people get clarity on what are they spending on. So essentially they understand, okay, what is necessary, what is not necessary or unnecessary. You're helping them to build a budget, and you're helping them keep track of those budgets and spend within those budgets so that they don't overshoot these budgets.
And to add on that, one thing I missed is we are using a little bit of behavioral sciences to analyze their spend patterns and sort of nudge them periodically that, hey, your spending pattern over the last 6 months has shown that, you are spending more on certain types of categories, right? And maybe if you manage that better, you would be able to save a bit more and start having some money to invest somewhere, right? So those kind of nudges is what we are also offering through our app.
Interesting. And of course, so you're helping them to craft these numbers of what they can and cannot spend, what they need to do with that money as well. And essentially, you're also enabling tracking of these income and expenses through something like an account aggregator, which is in your pipeline. You're building these engines to help people to keep within that track that they decide for themselves. So fantastic, right? Super, super interesting. So I think it sounds very exciting, but at the same time, what people miss a lot of the times is how complex building something like this could be. It's not easy, and that's why not everybody is doing it. So what is your journey like, Arun? What is going on in your mind when you started to build and plan on building Galgal? How did you go about it? What are the big building blocks that you needed, and how did you go about assembling those together?
Right. So clearly, right, when we laid down what we had to offer to the market, right, there were a few things, Harsh and I, right, that was crucial to making this a success, right? The primary one was the app that we are building has to be extremely user-centric, right? It has to cater to the segment that we are trying to achieve, right? And when we talk of youth, right, in India, it is diverse, right? You have the tier 1 cities, the people who have the money, right? But then there is this whole huge population in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and we wanted our app to be covering all these segments, right? So hence, what we are building had to be very simple, very easy to use, and appealing to the youth, right? So there was that crucial aspect that we as an organization, Harsh, we were a very small team, right? So we wanted to focus on the usability, the features, getting the best out of it. But then very, very important, right? And you rightly said, there was a huge complexity in connecting with the payments and banking ecosystem, right? And that's where, honestly, we were sort of newbies, right? Both Harsh and I, while we had worked, I had worked in the banking industry, but never in the context of connecting with the Indian payments ecosystem. And that's why we said that this is something that we need to work with a partner who can help us achieve that time to market, right? Of course, cost was a consideration and time to market, right? So are you willing to build up a huge team and build this, and it will take much more time, or rather we partner with something? And that's where we evaluated a few players in this API providers, right? Business as a service, like banking as a service providers like yourself. And we met you, we had a lot of discussions, and we found out that in terms of the size that you were, and Decentro was also maybe a year and a half old when we first spoke, right? So you were a growing organization. You were very actively willing to work with startups and sort of hold our hands and take us through this journey. So that was a crucial factor in deciding that we would work with somebody like you, right? And that's where so the usability, the core features, and the API connectivity with the ecosystem. These three were the key aspects. And I think by focusing on these and working with partners who brought the best for us, we were able to achieve that, right? We literally, from the day we met, Harsh and I, and did the initial thinking to when we went live on production with you guys, it was literally 12 months, right? So that was a commendable achievement, because not only had we had to build the product, test it out with a closed user group and everything. So working with a partner, agile partner who was willing to also put in the time and effort, right, and not treat us as a vendor. Hey, these are the set of APIs, you go and build it. It was a lot about discussing, refining the user journeys. That was very, very crucial, right? And you were there in some of the sessions we had with your product team. And there were suggestions that, hey, why don't you use this API? This will make things faster and better for you. So that was really a great experience while we were building this out with you. Yes.
Absolutely. I still remember, Arun, the day I got the Galgal card home, and when I had ordered it on the app and it came home. It's such an exciting feeling, and I think this is what I want to help people to see. I don't have the package handy, but then the attention to detail that the Galgal team puts to ensure that the customer gets the experience that they deserve, right from A to Z, right? Everything, right from how the app looks and feels, to the design, to the card and how that looks and feels for you, because that's a very tangible product that you hold and feel every day. To the packaging it came in, the whole opening up, when you pull it out, it opens up on both sides, getting the card out. It's a fantastic experience that you are trying to deliver to users.